Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Tonight we're going to talk about the Prana Pratishtha Shukta. It's the hymn or the song of the establishment of life. Let's recite on page 89. Om Asli Prana Pratishtantu Asli Pranaksharantu Cha Asli Deva Mahmacharyi Mamakiti Chakastana Kala Kala Gite Badam Danabadam Kala Kala Sangriyan Nirmito Yasman Kalashasdena Katate Kalashasya Mukhe Vishnu Kante Rudra Samasrita Mulet Vashyastito Brahma Madhye Matrigana Stita Kukshotu Sagara Sapta Saptadipa Chamedini Arjuni Gomati Jaiva Chandrabhaga Saraswati Kaveri Krishna Penacha Ganga Cheva Mahanati Tapti Godavari Cheva Vendri Narmadastata Nadasta Vivida Jata Nadyastarvasta Dabara Prithivyan Jani Tirtani Kalashastani Tani Ve Sarve Samudra Saritas Tirtani Jaladanadam Ayam Tu Mama Santatam Daritakshaya Karaka Rigvedota Yajaveda Samavedo Yatharvana Angesta Sakita Sarve Kalasham Tu Samasrita Atragage Trisavitri Santi Pushti Skaritata Ayam Tu Mama Shantartan Daritakshaya Karaka Devadana Vastambade Matmani Makadato Uparosita Takuba Vidrito Vishnu Nasvagam Tato Ye Sarvatirtani Deva Sarve Tvagitishta Tvagitishtanti Bhutani Tvagi Prana Pratishtita Shiva Swayam Tamevasi Vishnu Swam Chaprabha Prajapati Aditya Basabhoruta Vishwadeva Sapetrika Tvagitishtanti Sarvepi Yatha Kamapala Pradam Tvatsa Prasadami Danyagyam Kadumi Ejato Baba Sanidyam Guru Me Deva Prasano Baba Sarvada Namo Namaste Svatik Prabhaya Shishweta Haraya Sumangalaya Supasha Astaya Dashasanaya Jaladinataya Namo Namaste Pashupane Namastubhyam Padmini Jivanayaka Punya Bachanya Bhat Tavatvam Sanido Baba. Let's go back and translate that song. It's really beautiful. Because we're singing to our Kailash. And remember, Kailash is a container, and it's a container of all of our devotion. All of these objects have come here, assembled here, only to become recipients of our devotion. That's the only purpose for their existence and manifestation. They manifested just to inspire us with divinity. And that's what a temple is all about. Every object in the temple is holy. And it's holy because it came here just because we love God. That's the only reason, that's the only purpose it serves. To inspire us to love God in more ways, in more intensity. Ever and ever greater increasing intensities of devotion. So here we're saying, thus has the life force been established in you, and thus the life force has flowed into you. Thus to you, God, offering is made, and in this way make us shine. So here our Kailash, our pot, our smiling coconut is the emblem of divinity. It's a God to us. It's the form of divinity made manifest in front of us. Now we know very well that it's actually a pot with a coconut staring us in the face. And yet, somewhere we can trick ourselves into remembering that we are actually enjoying the privilege to be in the presence of God. The very presence of that pot smiling at us reminds us that we've created this space only to receive devotion, only to inspire us with divinity, and here we are in the presence of God. In this way, make us shine. All the gods are fragments of the cosmic whole. The cosmic whole is infinite. The gods are finite. You can see each of the divinities has a form. Also, all the Asuras are fragments of the cosmic whole. And thus, we make a house to contain all these energies. Here's this Kailash, our pot is full of all the energies. We made the house just to house the energies, to contain them. In the mouth of the pot is Vishnu, in the neck resides Rudra, at the base is situated Brahma, and in the middle, remember, the multitude of mothers. In the belly are the 7 seas and the 7 islands of the earth. And the rivers, Arjuni, Gomati, Chandrabag, Saraswati, Kaveri, Krishnavena, and the Ganges, and other great rivers, the Tapti, Godavari, Makindri, and Narmada. The various rivers and the greatest beings born, and all the respected places of pilgrimage on the earth are established within this pot. There's no need to go anywhere. Go to pot. Go to your special pot, you potheads. Fill that pot full of divinity and be there, and there all the places of pilgrimage are situated, all the holy rivers, all the oceans, all the islands. All the seas, rivers, and waters from all the respected places of pilgrimage have been brought for the peace of that which is bad or wicked. Everything that is negative we want to put in a state of peace. The Rig Veda, Yaja Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, along with all of their limbs, are assembled in this pot. Here Gayatri, Savitri, peace, increase have been brought for the peace of that which is bad or wicked. Give peace. Make all the negativity subside. That's our continual prayer. The gods and Asuras speaking together are the great givers of churning to the mind. Well, the positive and the negative of every situation are churning the mind. Rise to the top of this pot to separate them from what is actually Vishnu himself. So when you churn the milk, the cream rises to the top, and then you make the butter from the cream. In the same way, when you churn the mind with the positive and the negative, all the consciousness rises to the top so that we have discrimination. We can separate what is the actual reality and what is the outcome that we wish to have. Just sit with your Kailash, and it will speak to you. I'm going to tell you a story about a time where there was a great drought in all of India. Everyone was wanting for water, except for Gautam Muni. Gautam Muni was worshipping Gayatri Devi, and he had established a pot. And every day he would chant the mantras, and every day the rest of India was crying for water, and a cloud came right over his ashram and poured down rain. And there was abundance in Gautam's ashram. And some of the Brahmins who were suffering, they were wanting for food, their livestock was dying, their crops were withering. They said, "Oh, there is no recourse for us. Who could save us? Let's go take refuge with Gautam Muni." Thank you, Gautam. And the Brahmins went to Gautam's ashram. They knocked on the door, and they said, "Gautam, Please give us refuge. And Gautama opened up the door and he said, oh, the Brahmins have come to bless me. Please come in. And he went to the altar and he prayed to the pot, please help me provide what is necessary to make these people comfortable. Let me honor my guests. And then he lifted up the coconut and he reached into the pot and he pulled out asans for all the Brahmins and said, please, iha gacha iha tishta, please sit down. And he took some water from his samanya argha. And from the kosa, and with the kosi, he poured water over their feet. And he said, I offer you padyam, and gave them an argyam, an object of value. And then he gave them food and clothes. And then he gave them wood and masala, and said, please join me in the yajna. Everybody make your own yajna, please worship the goddess. So Gautam, every day the cloud would come over and pour rain on Gautam's ashram, and Gautam's ashram continued to expand. And everybody started worshiping the goddess in the form of the pot. And there was never lack in his ashram. So everything is situated in the pot. Within you are all the pilgrimage places. All the gods are situated within you. All existed is established within you. All life is established within you. You alone are Shiva. You are Brahma and Vishnu, the sons of Aditi, the 12 gods, the first gods of the Rig Veda. The finders of the wealth, Rudra, the universal deities and the ancestors, all and everything has been established in you, from whence you grant the fruits of desires. From you comes the blessed fruit of the sacrifice performed with excellence. May those riches increase. Manifest your presence within us, Lord. Always be pleased. We bow to he who shines like crystal, to he who emits excellent clarity and excellent welfare, with the net of unity in his hand, who takes the form of a fish, the Lord of all waters, and that which dwells within. We bow. We bow to him with the net of unity in his hand, seer of the life of the Lotus One. With this meritorious invocation, please make your presence manifest. Now that's a pot. That's a Kailash. And that's the Shukta, the Prana Pratishtha Shukta. We also can recite that Prana Pratishtha Shukta anytime we establish prana. Anytime we establish life. Now, we will establish life in the deity. And you can sing the Prana Pratishtha Shukta then. We will establish life in the pot. We can sing the Prana Pratishtha Shukta then. We establish life in the flower on the yantra. We can recite the Prana Pratishtha Shukta then. We establish life in the fire. We can recite the Prana Pratishtha Shukta then. However, in the format of the cosmic puja, the Prana Pratishtha Shukta is most appropriate with the establishment of the Kailash. Do we have any questions about Prana Pratishtha or about the Kailash or about what it means or how it works?
Is the Kailash, would it be correct to say that it's a type of kum?
It's a type of kum. But it's a container. Now, Kailash also means a summit. And the summit of the temple is called the Kailash, where they put a kum to contain the energies that are coming from above and to transmit them down below. And it's the same pose that Ramakrishna is assuming, called the Kalpataru. He's receiving the energy from above and he's transmitting it to those of us below. And this is called Kalpataru Mudra. And that's the same function that the Kailash on the top of the temple performs. It receives all of the divine energies from the atmosphere like a lightning rod. And then it pours it down into the temple so that anyone entering the temple could receive those energies. This is a Kailash. These smiling coconuts on the altar are Kailashes, or Gota, or Kumbh. Different terms. Any other questions?
Swamiji, after we have established the pot,
Yes.
It has to stay still.
Yes.
We don't move it.
We won't move the pot for the duration of our sankalpa. Now, if your sankalpa is to perform daily puja, then you can perform everyday establishment of the pot and everyday visarjan of the pot by removing the prana from the pot and putting it back into your heart, and then cleaning up the pot, sprinkling the waters over the heads of all the devotees present, and especially the worshipper, and then distributing the wealth that is contained inside. And then in the next day, you'll perform a new establishment of a pot. I have personally a sankalpa to worship for 1,000 days. And so I establish one pot for 1,000 days, and these little pots I change annually on the day of their special puja. On the day of Kali Puja, I establish a new Kali pot. On the day of Saraswati Puja, I establish a new Saraswati pot. Ganesh Puja, Vivinyadi, etc., etc., etc. Where did I get that quote from? Anyway, it was the king of Siam, I remember. So we can establish a pot daily. I do a Prana Pratishtha and a Kailash Tapan in Manas Puja every day. When I perform my puja without establishing physically a new pot, I recite all of the mantras, and in my mind, I place all of the articles and all the objects of worship into the pot. And then I recite the Prana Pratishtha Shukta. So therefore, I don't move my main pot for the duration of my sankalpa, but I do the complete Kailash Tapan Vidhi every day. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yesterday I wanted to have a question.
Yes, please.
And it was regarding the establishment stillness in the
Yes.
pot. And when we do that, is that we start with the mantra Om Sarvatirthamayam Vari.
Yes.
Do we start there?
Yes, we do. But especially the Lilihana Mudra is performed. That's our finger, baby finger sticking out with a little salute. And we say, Stang Sting Stiro Bhava Fat. Sang Sting Stiro Bhava, Vidwanga Ashur Bhava Bhadraban, Pritur Bhava Shushadastvamagni Purishabhana. And that is the Lilihana Mudra application with that mantra. So we sing Sarva Tirtha Barambari, Sarva Deva Samambitam, Imangatang Samagachaha, Tishta Deva Ganaki Saha, Stam Sting Stiro Bhava. Now, let's move on to the Vishesha Arghya. We talked about Arghya as an object of value which communicates the sincerity of my devotion, primarily in the form of a corsage. This Vishesha Arghya is in the form of a conch shell. And I'd like to tell you a little story about Shankachura, who was the king of the Asuras, and Tulsi. And Shankachura was cursed to become an Ashura. And Tulsi was also cursed to come down to earth. And they met at Pushkar, where Tulsi was doing tapasya. And she said, I want to go back to Golok and be with Vishnu and Krishna. And Brahma came to her and said, you will go back to Golok and you will marry Vishnu. But first, you have karma on the earth and you have to be the partner of Shankachura, the king of the Asuras. And that will fulfill the curse, and then you can go back home. So, Tulsi said, all right, Brahma, if that's the will of God, I'm going to marry Shankachura. And she began to do tapasya and recite the mantra, waiting for Shanka. And of course, one day Shankachura came up, the king of the Asuras, and he saw Tulsi radiant with purity. There is nothing so pure as Tulsi. And she was just radiant. And he looked at her and said, would you be mine? And she said, are you Shanka? And he said, yes, okay. So the marriage was fixed. It was quite a love affair. And very quickly, the purity of Tulsi was Shanka's protection. And the gods attacked the Asuras, and the Asuras began to fight, and no one could defeat Shanka because of Tulsi's purity. So the gods went to Vishnu and they said, Vishnu, somebody has to help us out. We can't defeat these Asuras. Tulsi is too pure. Because of the purity of Tulsi, we can't defeat Shanka. And he's the king of the Asuras. So you have to find a way to rob her of her purity. Vishnu said, I'm always willing to do the work of the gods because it's destined that the gods always will go back to heaven and the Asuras will always relinquish their authority over the earth. Satyam eva jayate. Truth will always prevail. So the gods will be victorious. And whatever is required. Tulsi asked for the boon to marry me. Vishnu took on the form of Shanka. And he went to Tulsi's place where she was staying. And he said, hi, honey, I'm home from the war. Quickly, let's make love. And Tulsi had a doubt. But she said, my husband has come home from so much hardship and facing so many dangers in battle, I must yield to him. As soon as they began their engagement, Tulsi said, you're not my husband. Who are you in reality? Why have you come to rob me of my purity? By deceit, you're trying to defeat the Asuras? Who are you? Vishnu assumed his form with 4 arms and said, you prayed for the blessing to marry me, and here I am. And Tulsi said, yes, but not like this. Not by deceit. Not by, your deceit has written the death of my husband. And I can't accept that. And Vishnu said, I'm giving you a boon. My worship will never be complete without a Shanka. Shanka, the conch shell, will sit at my feet Wherever devotees gather, there will always be a conch shell. And I'm giving you another boon. You can be with Shanka all through the day. Every devotee who worships with the conch shell will say, Om Aing Ring Kling Shring Vrindavan Basinya Ki Swaha, and put some tulsi leaves into the conch shell. And Tulsi gets to stay in the arms of her lover all through the day. And every night when the worship is complete, the devotees and pujaris will take that conch shell water and sprinkle it on the heads of all the devotees, and then Tulsi will come and stay with Vishnu all night. Now, how do you like that? Can't complain about that deal. Acha Sajai. What a deal. She gets to be with Shanka in the day and Vishnu in the night. So Tulsi accepted. So now we make our Samanya Arghya Jantra, the same Bindu, Trikona, and a Chakra and Charkona. The one point of creation, the threes, all the threes are in harmony, perfect balance. The circle of creation and the Chatur Bharga, the four aspirations of manifesting in existence, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and then we take our rice and put it on the yantra, Om Adara Shakta Nama, Om Kurmaya Nama, Om Anantaya Nama, Om Prithivya Nama, and we place the conch shell on top of the rice, which is on top of the yantra, Stang, Sting, Stiro, Baba, Pat, and fill the conch shell with water. Om Gange Jamana Chiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalismin Sanidikarum. And then here we put Tulsi into the arms of her waiting lover. Om Eng Ring Kling Shring Brindavan Basinyagi Swaha. And we put those Tulsi leaves into the conch shell. Now we will offer 3 flowers into the pot. Ediganda pushpayom ang arkamandalaya dwadas kalatmani namaha. Ediganda pushpayom ang somamandalaya shuras kalatmani namaha. Ediganda pushpayom ang bani mandalaya dash kalatmani namaha. Ediganda pushpay and that's the special flower. And usually we make the special flower by taking a red flower or a large flower. We used to use rakta jobbo, the hibiscus flower, which is red like a pomegranate. And it's very beautiful. You take 108 leaves of durba grass, which is like a crabgrass. You strip the leaves, each leaf, so that it has only 5 branches coming from the stem. You make a bundle of these leaves and take a little piece of red cloth. And in the bottom of the red cloth, you put some rice, sesame, some chandan, sandal, a little bit of kumkum and sindur, red powders. And then you place the flower in the bundle of grass and you tie it with a thread. So this is the orgya that goes into the conch shell. If you're pressed for time, just put a beautiful flower in and call it good. If you have lots of helpers around in many materials, then prepare a Vishesha Arghya, a very special offering demonstrating the sincerity of our love. And that is with the mantra Hung. And then we use the Matsya Mudra, the Dana Mudra, the Ankush Mudra, and we chant Om Gangecha Jamana Cheva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalismin Sanidikaru. And the Navarna mantra 10 times. Om ing ring kling chamundaki viche. 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 And then would sprinkle that conch shell water over all the holy offerings, including the worshiper and the devotees. Amritam kuru swaha, amritam kuru swaha, amritam kuru swaha. Let's go back and translate just a little bit. We'll draw our yantra and then place the rice on the yantra. Om, we bow to the primal energy. Om, we bow to the support of the earth. Om, we bow to infinity. Om, we bow to the earth. Be still in the gross body. Be still in the subtle body. Be still in the causal body. Purify. Om the Ganges, Jamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. These waters are mingled together. Remember, the Ganga is the Ira, the Jamuna is the Pingala, the Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, Godavari. These other 5 rivers are the 5 senses. So now we have ingress and egress into the city of God, the 9 gates to the city of God. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 gates to the city of God, we've just purified 7 of them. Om ing ring kling Sring Vrindavan Basinyaki Swaha. Om wisdom Maya increase to she who resides in Vrindavan. Vrinda means delight. The Bun means the forest. Tulsi lives in the forest of delight. I am one with God. With these scented flowers, Om we bow to the 12 aspects of the realm of the sun. Tapini, Tapini, Dhumra, Marichi, Jwalini, Ruchi, Sudumra, Bogda, Bishwa, Bodhini, Darini, Kshama, containing heat, emanating heat, smoky, ray-producing, burning, lustrous, purple or smoky red, granting enjoyment, universal, which makes known, productive of consciousness, which supports, which forgives. With these scented flowers, Om we bow to the 16 aspects of the realm of the moon. Amrita, Pranada, Pusha, Tushti, Pushti, Rati, Driti, Shashini, Chandrika, Kanti, Jyotsna, Sri, Priti, Angada, Purna, Purnamrita. Nectar, which sustains life, which supports, satisfying, nourishing, playful, constant, unfailing, producer of joy, beauty, enhanced by love, light, granter of prosperity, affectionate, purifying the body, complete and full of bliss. With these scented flowers, Om Ma, Ma, Om. We bow to the 10 aspects of the realm of fire. Dhumra, Archi, Jwalini, Sukshma, Jwalini, Vispulingini, Susri, Surupa, Kapila, Abhyakabhya, Baka. Smoky, red, flaming, shining, subtle, burning, sparkling, beautiful, well-formed tawny, the messenger to gods and ancestors. With these scented flowers, and that's just plain old cut the ego. It's Astra Mantra. I remember in chapter 6 when Dhumra Lochan went to see the Divine Mother, and he said, Mother, you come down from there. You go to self-conceit and you serve him. He has ordered you to leave your position on the altar and come down and serve him. And Mother said, hey, sinful eyes, you are very strong and you're a heroic warrior and you got this humongous army with you. And if you take me by force, what can I do? I'm alone, unarmed, I'm a woman, I have no energy, no power of my own, but I'm not coming. Sinful eyes said, Akraman! Attack. The soldiers ran forward to attack, with sinful eyes leading the charge, and Mother said, "Hmm," and reduced him to ashes in an instant. That's the Astra mantra, the power of the mantra of Ma. Hum. Ring, Kling, Chamunda, Deviche. And then we sprinkle that water over the heads of all that are present. Make this immortal nectar. I am one with God. Do we have any questions?
Swamiji, a question about the conch.
Sure.
Is there a specific direction in which it should be placed?
There are two types of conches. There are many kinds, but there are primarily a right-handed and a left-handed. And no, there are no, it depends on what kind of conch you have. Now, some people like to say that the right-facing conch is more auspicious than the left-facing conch. And I think that the Divine Mother is the goddess of the universe. And she'll forgive us no matter what direction your conch faces. So I would say whatever conch you have available, use it. Try to get a jawl shunk, a conch without a hole for blowing. Because when you fill up a conch with a hole in it, the water leaks out the hole. And it really disturbs your worship. Be filling in one side and having it pouring out on your altar through the other side. So you want to be careful what kind of conch. Make sure you have the right kind of conch shell. It's not what we call a fu conch, the kind you blow in. It's a jawl shunk, it's closed at the end. Any other question, please?
We put the Vishesha Arghya into the conch.
Yes.
And later we have...
Another Arghya.
Right.
Yes, that's a Naivedya Arghya.
Okay.
And that's prepared differently too.
Okay.
And oftentimes, I have seen some wonderful things, but Mother, our Divine Mother Sri Ma, she loves to take a banana and wrap the grass around the banana and put the flour into the corsage and put all the articles in and wrap it with a red cloth and around a banana, and she gives the whole banana with the Vishesha Arghya. That's a very beautiful Arghya. A little different from a standard corsage. It would be difficult to be walking around with a banana pinned to your lapel.
But that one we couldn't put into the conch.
No, that's a different Arghya.
Yeah.
And actually, I placed that Arghya on the left side, and the Vishesha Arghya goes here. You can see this is a Vishesha Arghya. So we have the Samanya Arghya, and then the Vishesha Arghya, and then we have the Naivedya Arghya. So there are three Arghyas in the cosmic puja. Do we have other questions? Well, let's go on to the Bhuta Shuddhi. This is a lovely subject. Actually, I've given classes on this for 2 days or 3 days, so I doubt if we'll complete it in 15 minutes, but we could get started. Yes, please.
Can I, one question, can we use also the Vishesha Arghya for the Naivedya Arghya, or?
No.
No.
No. Two different things.
Two different things.
Now, if you run out of Arghyas, your flowers are extremely valuable. They are objects of value, objects of worship, the articles which display our reverence and our appreciation. So you can just give a flower if you don't have the proper Arghya. Don't hesitate to use a flower. Are there any other questions? Please.
Yeah, this may be far out, I don't know, but does Shankara and Tulsi being together, does that have anything to do with the duality of creation, or is that a symbol of anything with that, or?
Actually, Tulsi and Sudama were making eyes at each other in Golok. And Radha got mad and said, I don't want this kind of behavior in Golok. If you guys are looking at each other amorously, you go down to earth and manifest in a human form and fulfill that desire. This won't go on in Golok. And so both of them were cursed to come down to manifest. And there is a duality, of course. There is there's always duality in manifested existence. So you can't have one without the other. Are there other questions? Well, maybe we'll stop here and we'll start our Bhuta Shuddhi in the next session. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.